This meeting is being recorded.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. I want to thank you for tuning in. This is our last show of our season 14. Cannot believe it. This year has flown by. We're all over Facebook and we're on Blue Sky. Our Facebook page is popping, y'all. I had no idea, but it's popping. So shout out to everyone who's been commenting and liking and everything on Facebook. Want to let you know if you'd rather go watch us, go to our YouTube channel, The Stephen Knight Show. Please comment and subscribe. Now, tonight we're breaking down all the hot topics everyone's talking about. Of course, we're discussing Jay-Z's sexual assault allegations alongside Diddy. Donald Trump doubling down on pardoning the January 6th criminals. And there's an update in the fatal shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. And are we closer to a TikTok ban? All that and much more. Now, Chike's out, Brittany's out, but thankfully we have Shaq returning from the Let's Be Clear podcast. Thank you, Shaq, for joining us. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. It's been a hectic day.
Monday
grooves. The weather is weathering, so I'm kind of recovering from a little respiratory something. But other than that, it's been good. Podcast, those who don't know, I have a podcast called Let's Be Clear. It's basically about me and a best friend, just kind of moseying through life. Basically, it's just a viewpoint of our conversations on a daily basis on various topics, personal, politics, entertainment. You can catch us on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter at Official LBC Podcast.
Absolutely. And I've been seeing a lot of clips on TikTok. Y'all are hilarious.
Thanks.
All right. Linnea, Adam, how y'all feeling?
Oh, just wonderful.
We're all feeling great today, huh?
Yeah, not too bad.
Well, our question of the day is, how do zodiac signs influence your dating decisions? Now, Adam, I know you're married, but did that ever play a part for you?
Well, I would say not really. I mean, unless it was like the Zodiac Killer, then I'm staying away from that person. But no, I didn't, I couldn't even tell you. I think, Stephen, you told me at the last party what you were, Gemini or something. I don't know.
Pisces.
Yeah, there we go. So as you can tell, I don't pay attention to that much. So no, it doesn't affect my decisions at all.
Linnea, I know it's been a long time since you've been in the dating world, but does that play a part for you?
No, because crazy is crazy.
Right.
It don't matter your sign. It don't matter your age. Crazy is crazy. It don't matter your color, creed. Nothing. Crazy is crazy. So no, no. But me, I'm a Gemini, so of course.
Crazy is crazy.
Jay's like,
crazy is crazy.
No, he's a Leo. He's crazy. So we have that argument.
My sister's Gemini.
You got all these personalities. Well, you love all of them. So what's the point?
All right. What about you, Shaq?
I try to avoid it, but sometimes it's very hard to avoid because it's so much thrown in our face about the signs.
Right.
I've heard a lot about you Pisces and
amazing.
A lot of I have a Gemini sister. She's June and so I mean, but
don't be like that, Shaq. Don't be like that.
And Shaq, you're a Cancer, right?
I am a Cancer. I'm a June Cancer. So I try not to buy into it, honestly.
Yeah. I didn't really pay attention to signs until I moved here forever ago now. Miss Parker, she's big into signs. And so I do think that there can be correlation between the same sign, like you see the same traits, but I also think that, like, I'm a Pisces, but I'm a Pisces with therapy. You know what I mean? So I've kind of learned some things. I had the same toxic traits, but it was funny because someone commented on our Facebook page and said, Sally, she said, I avoid Virgo men, 2 ex-boyfriends and 1 ex-husband, 3 strikes, or maybe I should avoid baseball. Well, Miss Parker put 100s across the board because she doesn't trust Virgos. I know that for a fact.
Wow.
So, but yeah, I just think I don't. It's not it's not a determining factor for me, but I do like to know what your sign.
No,
But
didn't
do you
they? Oh, sorry. Didn't they change the signs a few years ago? Like
They
they
tried
realized
to.
they did the start. So yeah, they realized like because the Earth's orbits changed over like whatever thousands of years a little
Right.
bit, and so actually the sign you used to have is not the sign you have now, which I think is nice for people who follow the signs because they can pick which one they want to be,
Right.
and they can pick which one they don't like, and
That's
they're like,
true.
oh well, you're born on
those
this
are
day, so maybe you're
baloney?
actually this one.
Yeah, I'm still a
I'm good.
Pisces.
I'm good.
Well, listen, go on our X and let us know how much do zodiac signs influence your dating decisions. Stephen I Show SHO. All right. Well, social media platforms continue to be on fire after sexual assault allegations surfaced against Jay-Z. Texas lawyer Tony Busby recently filed a lawsuit on behalf of Jane Doe, who claims that Jay and Diddy raped her more than 20 years ago. And this, according to TMZ, the court docs claim that Jane Doe was 13 at the time of the alleged assault. Now, yesterday, Jay released a statement about the lawsuit, and Busby wasted no time clapping back. Meanwhile, Diddy's lawyer also addressed Jane Doe's allegations. Elsewhere online, fans and celebrities like Meek Mill have been letting their Twitter fingers fly. Now, here are 5 things they say you should know about this case. So, the lawsuit says that sexual assault happened in 2000. Excuse me. So apparently, this 13-year-old female, she was dropped off at the MTV Video Music Awards. She didn't have a ticket for the show, but apparently she came across this limousine driver who said he knew Diddy and said that she would be a fit for what he's looking for. So he told her to stick around, and he ended up picking her up after the show. After a 20-minute ride, the lawsuit claims Jane Doe arrived at the house. Before entering, she reportedly signed a document, which she now believes is NDA. Did not get a copy, though. Upon entering, the 13-year-old saw guests, including celebrities, using cocaine and marijuana. At one point, she took an offered drink that allegedly made her feel woozy, lightheaded, and went into the room to lie down. While there, the woman claims that Diddy entered the room with Jay-Z and said, "You're ready to party." The lawsuit claims that Jay removed her clothes, held her down, and raped her while Combs and a female celebrity watched. Afterwards, Combs did the same while Jay and the woman observed. She allegedly stopped Diddy from forcing her to perform oral sex by hitting him in the neck. After the incident, Jane Doe says she grabbed her clothes, left the party, and found her way to a gas station and called her dad. Now, Jay-Z popped off on the woman's lawyer, Tony Busby. Within hours of the lawsuit reaching the internet, Jay-Z cleared the air via a lengthy statement. The New York City icon questioned Tony's credibility, declared his innocence, and expressed hurt for his wife, Beyonce, and their 3 children. Jay began his statement by alleging that the lawyer received the blackmail attempt in the form of a demand letter. So pretty much he's saying he sent a demand letter. Now the attorney's saying that the reason why they added Jay-Z to the lawsuit was because they feel like Jay tried to intimidate the witness, Jane Doe, and pretty much came arrogant after it and was going after the attorney. So that's why they added it, because she's saying that she's fighting back. Additionally, Jay-Z accused Tony Busby of having a pattern of these type of theatrics, labeling him a deplorable human being. He said, "I'm more than prepared to deal with your type." And he pretty much said, "You're not getting any money from me." So Jay-Z, he right away, took to social media to pretty much say this is not true and that I'm going to fight for you. You're not getting any money from me. All right, so Tony Busby responded to Jay-Z's statement. This is after Jay-Z professional read. Tony Busby didn't cower to the corner, excuse me. Instead, he went ham in 2 social media posts. In the first, he accused Jay-Z of trying to silence him and his clients, and previously sued him under a pseudonym. Additionally, he shared that his client, Jane Doe, didn't request a penny from Jay-Z in her demand letter. Instead, she was initially seeking a confidential mediation session. But what people are saying, if you're seeking mediation, you're going to want some money.
Right.
In the second social media post, Tony Busby addressed Jay-Z's comments about his Marines experience. He shared a throwback photo of himself and a lengthy caption describing his service and accused Jay-Z of stalking him, his family, and his former client instead of clients to intimidate or embolden them to sue Busby. All right, so Diddy's lawyer reacts to the lawsuit. While Jay-Z addressed Busby and the lawsuit head on, Diddy has resorted to speaking through his lawyer. The producers team called the amended and initial lawsuits extortion. Like Jay, Diddy's team also challenged Busby's credibility, calling the lawsuits shameless publicity stunts to collect coins from shaken celebrities. However, the statement did not name Jay-Z. So he didn't mention Jay-Z in his statement. Meek Mill weighed in. Meek Mill is among the first celebrities to react to the bombshell news, taking to his preferred platform, the former Twitter. He shared that the goal is to start a false narrative creating a matrix web. He said, if you can control the storyline, you can control the matrix, excuse me. American media is totally unbelievable, and I see Jay-Z, a 13-year-old go 300 times scrolling. It's called programming. Now, of course, Beyonce hasn't said anything about this. And I also read before we start recording that Jay-Z's attorney now is asked to expedite this case, because of the weight of it. So, Linnea, what are your thoughts on Jay being added to this lawsuit and the fallout aftermath?
My thoughts are, and it's always going to be this, when it comes to a Black man, his name will be completely tarnished just with the allegation, period. It ain't got to be true. But as Meek Mill said, you've already seen it 100 times in your feed. So they're already generating the narrative, and unfortunately, when people share, that continues to generate the narrative, which is unfair because that's the court of public opinion. So even with going to court, you saturate the pool of potential jurors, and then you mess up the opportunity to have a jury of your peers, especially, in the realm of where we are. We all know that a whole bunch of stuff is going to start to matriculate from this whole Diddy situation, which, correct me if I'm wrong, they dropped something related to the feds because some of what they did was illegal. I'm not completely sure. So that in and of itself should have people really thinking, like, just because it's on the internet does not make it true.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we are not allowed the grace of a fair trial, period.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, I don't see Diddy out here fighting back in the sense of how Jay-Z responded immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Because, that I'm like, I feel like that was really New York Jay that came out when he was like, oh, I got some for that. So that's what I felt like that was. So, we can only wait to see what will happen, but we already know it's going to be people coming out the woodworks and nothing ain't happened to them. We already noticed this is going to happen. It's just an attorney that's hungry and that wants some recognition and some attention and some money. And most people would like to just give you money so you go away. Nah, if it ain't true, fight it and make them go bankrupt. That's all I'm saying. Yeah,
I was listening to the Breakfast Club discuss this morning, and they were saying, which is true, we all know that anyone can sue anybody, whether it's, and typically, and again, not knowing whether this happened or not, but it's typically a money grab. When you go to mediation, of course, you didn't ask for money, but that's typically what comes from it, unclosed settlement, that we never know about. I do like the fact that he's being aggressive with this, pursuing this, and trying to clear his name. I am scared that more names will come out because people will jump on the bandwagon. But the sad thing about situations like this is that once the lawsuit is out and they made this point on the Breakfast Club, you never really pay attention to the ending. Like Lizzo, for example, her cases got dismissed. That didn't make any headlines, for her work abuse allegations. But Shaq, what are your thoughts on this case?
It's a bit messy, putting on a PR hat. It's I will say that Jay is very smart for expediting, to Lanier's point, to jump ahead, to not let the narrative get out of control. And at the end of the day, we are talking about serious allegations.
Yeah.
And when you put, it's many different hats in this situation. As a person, you don't want this to be true, right? You're talking about a 13-year-old girl, your moral compass kind of gets to twirling, right? Did he do it? Did he not? If he did, then what? You kind of go down that road. On the other end, you have the PR hat, which is, my thoughts were, why didn't he mention the name first? When they said alleged. Yes, because if you're this type of person, then you're talking about Jay-Z. If you have concrete evidence, go after him right away. So why wait to do this? I think that it's hearing his response, you can tell that this was something that he, I wouldn't say anticipated for.
Did it seem juvenile, Shaq? Did it seem like his response was juvenile, like his response to Jay-Z was juvenile, or is it just me?
Yeah, it was. And so that just lets you know, but that aside, you could just tell this is what it is. It's a money grab, right? I feel like that's going to be, I hope that that's going to be resolved, but the damage that it does, right? And that's why I say I'm glad that he's jumping on it quickly to kind of shed light on it, to, you're trying to embarrass me, my reputations, I'm going to do it to you first. And some people may look at it like, oh, he must be trying to hide something. That public opinion, where we are with this today, is very, they'll believe anything, unfortunately, and just to, like McMill said, the programming is already begun. So I think that Jay-Z's very smart to jump ahead to say, I'm not hiding anything, but this is serious. I have children myself. Now, from an old PR standpoint, a lot of people were saying, well, Jay didn't kind of come in like, we take this very, he did in a way, but it was very, like you said, New York way. Like, it was very old school where, hey, you trying to hit me, I'm going to hit you harder. Right. Nowadays, PR, you see most people in most instances kind of like, it's almost like they're admitting it, but they're not, but they're just feeling sorry for the victim, in this. So I think that his stance on it is very, it's very smart of Jay-Z to go at it this way. And I think that we're going to see that his innocence proved. I'm just saying, that's my standpoint, that's my opinion. But the damage behind this is going to be, it's going to be a talk for some time. Even if he found innocent, there's always going to be some talk, because they've been anticipating Jay-Z for the moment.
Yeah.
Ever since Diddy was his allegations, everybody was looking at Jay-Z. Everybody was looking at Beyonce. Everybody was looking at everybody. So it's just like this attack to bring Black, wealth down, or, Black men down. I don't know. We're just kind of seeing that more frequently now. So that's my take on it.
And this is obviously a civil matter because the statute of limitations for criminal is has already expired. But what are your thoughts on? Because one thing that always bothers me in cases like this is when the person can be Jane Doe. We don't know who the person is. This woman is almost 40 now.
He said, he said he wanted her.
She's over 40. I'm sorry. She's 40, about 43. I'm sorry.
He said Jay-Z wanted her to reveal.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah.
If you're emboldened, then show your face.
Show your face. Yeah. So I think he's kind of, and like I said, it's that moral compass, right? You don't want this to be true. You don't. You want to feel bad for this victim, regardless. But it's just the shiesty lawyer that's coming out with all of this, and it's getting messy.
Yeah. Adam, what are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I did actually read when the case for Lizzo dropped. So I don't know what news you're reading, Stephen, but I saw that in the news.
No, what I'm saying is, but it wasn't as big as the headline of when the allegations came out. It was reported, but it didn't go viral. No, it wasn't out there. You know what I mean? The headline.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't read as much news, I guess. I didn't think the Lizzo thing went viral either when it first was announced.
Yeah.
I saw like a headline for it, and then I moved on, and then
Yeah,
I don't follow the same gossip columns, I guess, or any gossip columns. I should admit, I don't really read any of that. Yeah, it's interesting. I think Linnea and Shaq are right. There's a lot of weird parts of this happening today, and like what's going on, what's the real thing. I don't know much about the case. I think over time things will be found out, but yeah, everything seems a little weird. And again, Jay-Z probably had a lawyer help him like craft this message before he responded. He knows how to be smart. He's not gonna like just go and do a shouting match or whatever with someone. So I think everything's on Jay-Z's part's well done and professional. But yeah, there's a lot of questions to be had, and who knows? This may become a thing of this week. Next week, someone else may come. It's the media cycle also moves really fast. So something that's exciting today may not be like even remembered tomorrow. So
I think it might be a little. I think that if he's able to get this under control quickly, that it can be, handled. But just like when you said, like the programming of it all, like when you get on any social media platform, I think CNN posted it on Instagram yesterday, deleted the post and reposted again today. Like because I seen it on there and I was like, I know you posted it 16 hours ago, but then I went back and I'm like, why are you wanting me to see this again? You already posted, right? So it's just it's a clickbait, it's money involved, of course. So it's like whatever we need to do to get profit, of course, from your engagement. Of course, he's tied to one of the biggest pop star of the century. And, everyone wants to see scandal with them specifically. So if he's able to just nip it in the bud quickly, I think we should be good. But if it goes on and on and on, it's going to be messy.
Well, and like you said, the media is, I think they're soulless, right? They grab any headline, they get the clicks, so nothing matters to them. They have no morals. So, like you said, if they're not given anything to like bite on, then hopefully it just moves on.
Yeah. And because only two people outside of Jane Doe can corroborate this story, and that would be Diddy and the female celebrity that's been unnamed.
No, it would be Diddy, the female celebrity, and this alleged limo driver.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
That would be the other person.
Yeah.
To corroborate this story.
Yeah.
The only issue that I have, right? There are true victims, and then there are scads.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
True victims never really see justice because of scad.
Yeah.
And we know that there are scads out here. And that's why you have to be very careful to instantly jump on the victim train, because half the time they're not victims, they're scared. And they've never even been in close proximity to these people. But there's a story that was made up and somebody wanted to go along, well, we're going to try to get this money.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have a question. You said that the statute of limitations was passed. Well, hell, that should have been the same way with Bill Cosby.
Right. Yeah.
Because all them hoes is old.
I don't want to be a Bill Cosby apologist. I think he was
not that, but I'm just saying in general. I'm just saying in general, like what's the difference? I don't know if it what's the difference in that situation versus this one, because those were way old. Like that was hell before this situation was even born and thought about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know state laws. I think each state has their own laws
They
or
do.
statutes of
Bill was in
limitations.
Pennsylvania, right?
New York one.
Which
Well,
Where was
this
Bill's case?
new one is
Oh,
New
Bill.
York. I think the Bill Cosby one was Pennsylvania.
Was
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, right? And,
Mm-hmm.
But so the attorney that filed on behalf of this woman, that attorney is from Texas. Did they file in Texas or did they file in New York? Like, where did they?
Yeah, there's a lot of unknowns.
Okay.
Yeah. And I
How
think,
do you get a Texas lawyer
right.
if
Well,
they
that's
don't
the one that
practice
has
in
the over
that state?
100 cases he's filing against Diddy. So I think it's almost like a class action
Like a
suit.
class action suit?
Yeah.
But they would still have to practice law in the state
Right.
where they originated the claim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So okay, all right. I just was.
We'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. Well, today, jury decided that Daniel Penny was not guilty of criminally neglect homicide for the death of Jordan Neely, according to ABC News. As previously reported last year, Penny placed Neely in a chokehold while on a New York subway train, which led to his death. The jury deliberated for more than 24 hours across 5 days before announcing a verdict. It was previously announced that the judge, Montell Jordan, dismissed the second-degree manslaughter charge, which carried a maximum of 15 years, and had the jury focus on a lesser charge of criminally neglect homicide, which carried a maximum of 4 years. Prosecutors accused Penny of killing Neely after he placed him in a 6-minute chokehold. Assistant Director Attorney Daphne Yorn argued that Penny knew the outcome of his actions and continued to keep Neely in a chokehold for way too long and didn't recognize his humanity. The medical examiner ruled that Penny's chokehold is what led to Neely's death. However, the defense argued that Neely died from a genetic condition and the synthetic marijuana found in his system. The defense also argued that Penny acted to save subway passengers, as it was claimed that Neely was acting erratic and scared the living daylights out of everybody. And it was argued that he continued to keep Neely in the chokehold because Penny thought he would break free, but didn't intend to kill him. ABC News reports that the family members of Neely expressed their anger in the courtroom after Monday's verdict was announced. Penny reportedly flashed a brief smile while leaving the courtroom before returning to his stone-faced demeanor. Now, he was also seen with his attorneys at a local bar party and celebrating this outcome. I'll start with you, Adam. Daniel Penny was a former Marine, and so he knew the chokehold. And they said that Neely's body went lifeless, and he still had him in the chokehold, but he was able to get off on this on the lesser charge because so the jury could not they couldn't come up with this answer or couldn't come up with a decision on the second-degree manslaughter, so that's why the judge dismissed it. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's sad, that someone died, and then this is kind of the outcome. Yeah, I didn't follow this case too much, so I was just kind of catching up with it with the hot topics. Definitely seems like he held on for too long without being like a legal expert, and the medical examiner said that's how he died. So it seems like I mean, I don't know. There's no good news with this story, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have any happy thoughts or really critical thoughts. It's just sad.
And there are people on both sides that were cheering the outcome, and of course, there are some people that are very angered from the outcome because they feel like a life was taken. But what are your thoughts?
I am tired. I'm tired. This is why people are desensitized. This is why people don't care. This is why it's easier for people to pull out their phone and record a traumatic event than it is for them to seek help. The world has gotten very, 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 very dark. And I'm tired. And you can do with that what you will. I got nothing else.
Yeah. Shaq, what are your thoughts? There were people I was online calling this man a hero.
Yeah, it's I just feel like it's just very unfortunate to in this situation particularly, you're talking about the subway. There's videos of tons of things that happens on the subway, tons of things that need attention. People do nothing about it. People let people act the way they want to act. Some things that actually require someone to actually step up and say, hey, not put them in a chokehold, but just to, contain them in a manner, just in a civilian way, just say, hey, you calm down, or, let the person move out the way, or whatever the case may be, just kind of contain the situation. I feel like the chokehold was just unnecessary. You're a Marine, pretty sure that you are aware of what's too long. You should be more aware of bodily function. Maybe you should have just mind your business. I just feel like being aware of where we are today, you have a choice to say, I'm just gonna not do this, or I'm gonna do this. And if I am gonna, help someone, or feel like this situation has, is escalating, or some people are in danger, why do you take that into your own hands? So I am tired of it as well. There's a lot of things that I wish that could have happened in the situation. Wish I'm not too sure on all the details, but did anyone try to stop the Marine?
No.
So there you go. So it's like, that again, people were just minding their own business. I wish he would have done the same. I don't feel like people were, if you're on a subway, I feel like people tend to mind their own business. I've been on a MARTA a few times. Guess what? I've heard stuff, seen stuff. It hasn't got to that point, but I'm on my own business. A lot of people do. So I just wish it was I just felt like it was unnecessary. Another life gone to something senseless. And honestly, to celebrate and call him a hero is diabolical.
Right. I agree.
If this was something that you felt like was done, that you were truly trying to de-escalate a situation, and it did happen, you should be showing remorse that I didn't intend to do this. So it just seemed intentional, and we just gonna celebrate because, again, like Linnea says, everyone is desensitized. And with that, it tends to make it okay when it's not. So I know we're tired, but I feel like there should be a lot of outrage about this. I mean, I know it is, but it's not acceptable.
I think it was poor taste for him and his attorneys to go to a bar down the street and celebrate.
Sends a message.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't care.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stephen, you're giving us a lot of good news this last episode.
No. When we come back with this,
we should at least been happy it's the last show, Stephen.
when we come back, we'll discuss Trump doubled down on pardoning January 6th criminals, update on the fatal shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thomas, and are we close to a TikTok ban? Much more right back after this.
Stephen, when we get